In early 1959, a group of 9 experienced Russian hikers, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, embarked on an expedition into the remote and unforgiving Ural Mountains. Their goal was to conquer the treacherous slopes of Kholat Syakhl, which translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language. Little did they know, this would be their final journey, and the circumstances surrounding their deaths would become one of the most chilling and enduring mysteries in modern history. The hikers were well prepared, strong, and experienced in navigating difficult terrains and extreme weather. Among them were engineering students, seasoned athletes, and outdoor enthusiasts. They kept detailed diaries, capturing their enthusiasm and camaraderie as they trekked through the icy wilderness. But what started as an adventurous expedition soon turned into a nightmare that would defy explanation for decades. As the group set up camp on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl on February 1st, 1959, a storm rolled in, and the temperature dropped to below minus 30 degrees Celsius, minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. The hikers, tired from the day's climb, huddled inside their large tent to sleep. No one could have predicted the horror that would unfold that night. Hours later, in the dead of night, something inexplicable happened. The hikers, for reasons that remain unclear, suddenly cut their way out of the tent from the inside and fled into the freezing darkness, some of them barefoot and barely dressed despite the deadly cold. What could have caused these rational and experienced individuals to make such a desperate, irrational decision? When the hikers failed to return as scheduled, search parties were sent out. It wasn't until late February that searchers stumbled upon their abandoned camp. The tent was found slashed open from the inside, its contents untouched, as if the group had left in a panic. No footprints leading to or from the tent were visible due to snowdrifts, but nearby, signs of the hikers' escape began to appear. As searchers fanned out across the snow-covered landscape, they began to find the bodies. The first 2 hikers were discovered near a forest edge, about a mile from the tent. They were barefoot and dressed only in their underwear, lying in the snow beside the remains of a small fire. The branches of a nearby tree were broken up to 15 feet high, suggesting that one of them had frantically climbed up, perhaps to escape something or to gain a better view of their surroundings. 3 more bodies, including that of the leader Igor Dyatlov, were found scattered between the camp and the tree line, as if they had been trying to return to the tent. All of them appeared to have died of hypothermia, but their positions suggested a frantic and confused attempt to survive. It would take 2 more months for the remaining 4 hikers to be found. When their bodies were finally uncovered in a ravine deeper in the forest, the scene was even more bizarre and horrifying. These hikers had suffered severe internal injuries, including crushed ribs and skull fractures, injuries so violent that they were compared to those caused by a car crash. Yet, strangely, there were no external wounds to explain the force that had caused such damage. One of the women was missing her tongue and eyes, adding a grotesque element to the mystery. The Soviet authorities quickly ruled that the hikers had died due to a compelling natural force, but this vague explanation only fueled more questions. In the years since, a variety of theories have been proposed, ranging from the bizarre to the supernatural. 1. Avalanche. One of the more accepted theories is that an avalanche caused the hikers to flee their tent in panic. However, there was no evidence of an avalanche at the site, and the internal injuries found on some of the bodies were far too severe for a typical avalanche. Moreover, the tent was still partially standing when it was found. 2. Military experiment. Another theory posits that the hikers may have stumbled upon a secret Soviet military experiment, possibly involving parachute mines or other untested weaponry. Some have pointed to strange orange orbs seen in the sky around the time of the hikers' deaths as evidence of military testing. This theory could explain the strange injuries and the hikers' sudden flight into the cold. 3. Paranormal forces. For those drawn to the supernatural, the idea of paranormal or extraterrestrial forces has taken hold. Some speculate that the orange orbs were UFOs, and the hikers were caught in the crossfire of an extraterrestrial encounter. Others suggest that the area, known as Dead Mountain, may have been cursed or haunted, leading the group to suffer inexplicable and terrifying hallucinations or phenomena. 4. The Yeti. Perhaps the strangest and most outlandish theory is that the hikers were attacked by a Yeti, a mythical creature said to roam the remote areas of Russia. Severe injuries, missing eyes and tongue, and the desperate flight from the tent have been cited as possible evidence of an encounter with such a creature. Though no credible evidence of a Yeti has ever been found, this theory persists in the realm of cryptozoology and popular imagination. Despite multiple investigations, forensic studies, and countless theories, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved. Why did the hikers slash their tent open from the inside, fleeing into the freezing night without proper clothing? What caused the bizarre and violent injuries to some of the group? And what role, if any, did the strange orange orbs play in the tragedy? Every aspect of the case seems to contradict logic and reason, leaving investigators and theorists stumped. The chilling details of the incident, the broken branches, the missing tongue, the internal injuries, and the unexplained behavior make it feel like the stuff of nightmares. Yet, this is not a fictional horror story. It is a real event, with real lives lost in the icy wilderness of the Ural Mountains. In the decades since the Dyatlov Pass incident, the story has haunted those who hear it. For the families of the hikers, there has never been closure. Theories come and go, but the truth remains elusive. To this day, the pass where the group met their mysterious end is known as Dyatlov Pass, in memory of Igor Dyatlov and his ill-fated team. The eerie atmosphere of the case continues to inspire fear and fascination, a haunting reminder that the wilderness holds secrets we may never fully understand. As the snow continues to fall over the remote slopes of Dead Mountain, the mystery endures, a chilling tale of human fear, survival, and the unknown forces that may lie beyond our comprehension.